Hi, my name's Hannah Faulkner. I'm 28 years old. I'm currently a police officer in Bristol. I moved to Bristol about 6 or 7 years ago with the job, and I've been coming to Woodies since then.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm married to Andy. I'm a paediatric nurse and I moved to Bristol in February in preparation for us getting married in June. When I was 14, I felt God had called me to go out to Africa. I went out to Nairobi and Uganda when I was 16 and I met a little girl called Ada. She's now died of AIDS and I believe she had TB at the time, which I contracted later during my nurse training. But she really impacted me, and it was when I was holding her that God told me it was children's nursing that he wanted me to do.
I've always wanted to go away and do mission work elsewhere in the world, but I've never known where I've wanted to be. But I think God's put Africa on both of our hearts, hasn't he? And yeah, here we are.
My parents are involved with charity in Nairobi, and I always said that I'd go back and do some work there. So I guess that's where it started. And then I met Andy just over a year ago. And to be honest with you, it was both our heart for Africa that brought us together, and God told us that we were to get married before we went. So here we are, we've been together 14 months, we're married and we're about to go to Africa.
The first part of our trip consists of going to Burundi, which is in Central Africa, just underneath Rwanda. We're actually going to work with Simon Gilbo and his charity and organisation Great Lakes Outreach, who support an umbrella of different charities, one of which is Burundi YFC, which is Youth for Christ in this country. That's run by a guy called Freddie, and they've got an orphanage as well as a medical centre, housing for orphans as well with house mothers. We're just going to be helping there. Through Hannah's work, she's going to be doing some nursing, but I'm going to be just doing whatever I can really to assist them there. So that is in brief our first 6 months.
Burundi came about because Simon Gillibo's obviously set up a very sustainable charity, and we want to learn skills from there that we can take to Nairobi. So we'll be going to Nairobi with a better knowledge of how to run a successful sustainable medical clinic, and the idea is as well that we'll be able to provide an ambulance that will allow us to take immunisations into the slum and obviously provide emergency care to kids in the slum as well.
The provision of this ambulance will help the organisation long term and short term. In the short term we'll be able to do outreach, but in the long term emergency care for critically ill people, taking them both to Lena Medical Services Clinic and to the local hospitals if they need more urgent care that's not available at the clinic itself. Recently we've been lucky enough to have raised enough funds to actually purchase a vehicle, so we now have that, and we're in the process of converting that as we speak.
The idea behind the Nairobi project is to be able to give children particularly healthcare and education so that eventually they can then get out of the slum and it won't be an ongoing issue in that part of Africa.
Myself, along with a group of 23 guys, taking part in a cycle ride across Burundi for charity. So it consists of 400 miles over 7 days, which is quite a long distance for me, bearing in mind I'm not a cyclist, but I'm going to take part in that ride and I've started training already. Basically, we're raising money during that cycle ride for both the organisations we're going to be working with, so and it's going to be split 50-50 either way. So there's a number of ways you can support us. Firstly, by following our website, which is www.faulknersinafrica.co.uk.
We'd really be grateful if people could pray for our safety, obviously preparation leading up to it, any complications that we're able to overcome them, and finances is a big thing as well. Obviously trying to support 2 projects, we need as much help as possible, so we'd love you to get behind us.